Happy Hump Day, everyone.
Happy Hump Day.
This is our summer update. Wyatt and I have been very busy, but we thought that it would probably be nice to come back and let you guys know what's going on. We have our, hopefully will be our final studio. We've been through so many. Anyway, this is hopefully going to be our permanent, long-term studio.
Yay.
Finally, in an undisclosed location. Basically what we've been doing so far this summer is we've been working. We actually got a job. If there's one thing I've learned, I will never complain about having a job, but I will complain about the things I have to do in that job.
Yes.
Wyatt and I, like we said, we had a job. Our job is working at an organics farm. Basically picking strawberries the entire summer, 3 days a week.
That's fun.
So,
but it's a job.
It's not fun. Tell us about your trip.
Sure. I'll try and keep it short because it was a 5-day trip and it was full of stuff. I guess I'll explain what happened.
I haven't heard any of this yet, too.
Yeah.
It's story time.
Okay. So what the trip was is my church decided for the third time that they were going to go down to a place called Wyatt in San Francisco. Now, what YWAM stands for is Youth with a Mission. And it's pretty much a homeless outreach center in the toughest place in San Francisco.
The Tenderloin District.
Anyway, during our trip, we did things like handed out hot chocolate to homeless people. We handed out socks, handed out Bibles, handed out hygiene kits, which were little little bags made.
This was your second time, right?
This is my second time.
Yeah. I didn't get to go this time.
We did a sack lunch, which is where we found people, homeless people, and we sat and ate lunch with them, which was pretty awesome. Okay, highlights. Near the end of the trip, I'll just kind of bounce around. Near the end of the trip, we were at a community lunch, and we were sitting at this table, me and another person on the trip, and this guy sits down with his wife and his daughter, right? And really, this guy, if I met him on the street, I would be intimidated by this guy heavily.
How old did you say he was?
He's probably in his 30s.
How old was his daughter? Really little?
His daughter was 4.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
They were homeless?
No, there weren't homeless families. It was interesting. Mostly because the Tenderloin is so dangerous that you can't have a homeless family. Homeless families don't stay there because it's so dangerous. His little daughter would probably be kidnapped.
Well, you probably heard gunshots during the night, didn't you?
We didn't. Gunshots weren't a thing.
When you were sleeping. Because I would hear, when I was there for the 2 times I was there, I would hear gunshots every night.
Yeah, gunshots weren't a big thing. It was, people would do heroin, outside our window of the youth. Yeah, guys would, you look out the window while you're eating breakfast and some guy's out there shooting up heroin, or his friend is, shopping him shoot up heroin. There were crack pipes all the time. I don't know if I saw meth, but I saw crack. Whole bunch of little drugs, weed. A lot of people smoke cigarettes, which weren't really that bad. But yeah.
No, they're still bad, just not as bad.
No,
as
not as bad. So that was interesting. We ended up saving a guy's life. Not violence, someone didn't jump in front of a bullet. It was a guy named Thomas, and Thomas was in a wheelchair, and he had an infection on his leg from here to here, where it was infected and oozy.
Was it a cut or?
No, it just had started. Pretty much, it had started rotting. His leg had started rotting. Kind of.
There wasn't no original wound. Was it just?
I don't know because it was so messed up.
Weird.
You couldn't tell if there was It wasn't a big slash that had stuff growing, stuff in oozing out of it. It was just his leg was littered in. We didn't want to be rude and stare at it, so we didn't go oh, so anyway, we ended up knowing about this free clinic, and we okay, so it took us about an hour and a half. This is my 5th time saying this.
Don't tell him that. We could have just not even had to make it look like. Okay, never mind. Just go.
It took us about an hour and a half to like talk him into actually going to the free clinic. The crack lady that I talked about earlier, she actually showed up while we were trying to convince him to go.
Was that her name? Crack lady?
We had no idea what her name was. I don't know what else to call her.
Okay, fine. The crack
This lady who happened to have taken a substance called crack and was currently on said substance and currently was an abuser of said substance and also proclaimed that she was a prostitute. She engaged she engaged thou in conversation.
She engaged you in conversation
whilst trying to convince said nobleman Thomas to accompany thine to
You're not even using the right words.
yonder clinic.
She tried to sell herself to this guy.
No.
That was in
No, she wasn't. She was like yelling at us and at him. The funny thing is that she wanted him to go to the clinic. But her way of telling him to go to the clinic was to yell at us and to yell at him and to pretty much like make him feel like crap so that he would go. You know? So
Did this work?
No, he hated her.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And so she was making it harder for us to take it, and we were scared that she was going to hurt us because she started to get angrier and angrier. And not only him, but at us. Like, we were like, hey, we've got this, we can take him. And she would just get angry at us. So anyway, we eventually got him to the clinic. They kind of cleaned up his leg. He went to the hospital. And we actually found him the next day while we were kind of walking the streets handing out stuff. And we talked to him before we left. But it was kind of scary because another group had seen him. Another group from ours. Like, it was me, another person, it was me and two other people, and we were all in different groups. But this other group had found him the next day because we weren't sure what had happened to him. So anyway, it was like 9:30 and we're out walking the streets looking for Thomas.
Did you have an adult with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a couple of us. Like, it wasn't like two, it was like 5 of us.
Okay.
And 3 of those people were adults. So we're good. We weren't like, I didn't just go, Thomas! And like run out the door, I'm coming for you, and get like kidnapped or like...
Just get like shot on the doorstep.
And die. Yeah, no, I'm good. I didn't die, in case you're wondering.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
We were worried.
Yeah, I could tell. So we found him, we talked to him, and he was walking, which was great because the day before, he could barely get up.
Just a flesh wound.
And he was walking his wheelchair around, getting some exercise.
You said that you saved his life. Did he like almost die, or?
The infection in his leg was in his blood.
Oh.
And would have killed him pretty quick. Not like, oh my god, like hours. If we had waited a couple hours, he would have died. But
he wasn't going to the clinic unless you guys forced him. And you guys
and if he didn't seek help, he was going to die pretty quickly. It's interesting because the Tenderloin is only like a few blocks in every direction, and like 2 blocks away in a certain direction, you're on Market Street.
Yeah,
which is that. Like the rich, like businessmen. And like
shopping, yeah.
Starbucks, you know, all these shops, and literally a few blocks away, there's someone who is starving to death and literally rotting away on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And you know, the funny thing was, the homeless people, the people on drugs, were usually more friendly than the people on Market Street.
I remember that when I did like a test, I walked down a street in the Tenderloin and I said hi to every single person. There's like 10 people. Everyone said hi back. I walked down the street. What was it called?
Market Street.
Market Street. Out of like 15 people that passed, 2 said hi.
I mean, yeah. People on the streets are always saying, hey, and they're hugging each other because they know each other. People are saying hi. Like, you could be walking on the street and this person's doing something and they'll look up from what they're doing and they'll be like, good morning. And
So we had a couple people injecting themselves with heroin. They'd still say hi to us.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't say anything.
I mean,
they'd still say hi.
No, not every person. Some people are kind of out on drugs and they'll be angry or they won't say anything or they'll be sleeping. But I mean, pretty much they were friendlier than we are. Sometimes people would say hi and we'd be like taken aback. Like in the beginning, they'd say hi and we'd be like, oh. But as went on, we were like, good morning.
Yeah, some of the nicest people that I've personally ever met were from the Tenderloin districts.
Yeah,
just because they're so happy to talk to someone, to be treated as an equal human.
And they have they have more reasons to be angry and mean, because they're living on the streets, and they're treated poorly every day by a bunch of people. So it's like they have way more reasons to be angry at us, to be angry at the world, and some of them are, but most of them are still friendly and still friendlier than people on Market Street. And it's like, that's kind of whack. The more you know,
Alright.
That should be a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
The more you know, Your homework, evaluate your life.
Evaluate your life.
Are you friendly to people?
Look at your pantry and think to yourself, I am lucky. And then cry to yourself.
And you know what? Next time you see someone, say hello.
Check out the YWAM website. I'll have a little thing going right now showing the actual website, but you should go check that out. YWAM San Francisco.
And they're actually...
You can donate if you want to.
And they're international. So, they have places all over the world. It's pretty awesome. So, yeah, check them out. And evaluate, are you a nice person? I'm not.
Or are you on crack?
Or are you on crack? Because if you don't know it and you're on crack, that's bad. So,
Alright.
Well, stay fabulous.
I can't believe we still do that. It's so lame.
It is not lame.
It is so lame.
We are the coolest of cool right here. This is like...